Last time on Almost Heroes.
We pick up over at the Matic Tavern, as a Boulderfist guard approached us saying that someone was looking for us. That someone happened to be Tardan. After meeting with Tardan, he confirmed that the Ebon depths were mostly intact and would be safe to mine after a bit of reinforcing. In case you guys forgot, it flooded partially with lava. Cosmo then headed to the Boulderfist, the Stoneheart mine to talk to Chesk and fill him in about the Darksteel ore. Chesk was very excited. It was decided that Chesk would be sending a small group to investigate the Ebon Depths as a viable new mining location. After that, we decided to make our way into the woods north of town, searching for Daas's mystery meat creatures, which were very obscurely described, which was alarming. After coming across a trail of slime leading off the path, we followed it and discovered strange green and purple lump pretty high up in a tree. Glenn was able to get up to it and pry the creature loose. While it fell to the ground and rolled into a ball, Cosmo didn't want to touch it, but Rangrim, in his infinite wisdom, picked up the creature and yeeted it, I think is the technical term.
That is correct. By a very high wisdom score, it was the correct thing to do.
Okay, smart, super smart. Creature flattened on impact and began just screaming, just loud, in a quiet forest. It goes well. Soon after that, more shrieks started coming our way in varying tones and sizes and volumes throughout the woods, and that's where we left off.
Thank you very much, BK. That brings us to episode 31, Mystery Meat. So we pick up with our almost heroes in the wood just north of Tin Town, searching for Daas's mystery meat monsters. And with you all just having thrown one of the smaller creatures, alerting the entire forest to your presence, it seems. So what do you all do?
Oh, Rangrim, if we die, I blame you.
I mean, it's not the first time you've said that to me, and I'm not dead. We're not dead. Glenn might die. He's a little squishy.
He is. He's hiding, though. We're good.
It's called strategy, just from the trees.
So as you all are discussing this, you kind of hear these sounds, and they're coming from the distance where you saw those kind of mounds, and you see just kind of like some slight moving underneath these mounds, kind of moving around a little bit, and you can see some figures kind of moving around, just kind of out in the distance. Too far to see anything like specifically, unless you want to make some sort of perception checks. But after a bit of kind of these screeching tones in different like volumes and pitches, things seem to kind of like quiet back down again, and there's like an eerie silence now hanging in this forest.
Glenn is gonna kind of, from his mounted position up in the tree, blink Poe into existence and send him out the direction of, I guess, like the loudest cacophonous screams. Which general direction would that be, looking at the map?
So you went originally just kind of north on a trail going north of Tin Town, just kind of directly north, and you kind of branched off that pathway going to the east. So kind of northeast in there. So you're looking, continuing to look kind of like along this slime trail that you found, kind of more to the northeast.
Okay. I would send Poe down that arc.
Okay.
Down the slime trail.
Okay, awesome. Send him down and roll me a perception check.
I would keep sending him out.
Where did the thing we threw land?
So he threw it. Yeah, actually, that's a good question, Rangram. Did you just throw it against a tree close to you?
I think he tried to hit me with it.
He did. He made a ranged attack.
And I'm like 15 feet in this. Like, he probably threw it pretty far.
Yeah, I did. I made a ranged attack to throw it at Glenn. That is correct. That is what I did.
Okay, so it's probably a good 30 feet away at the base of one of the trees.
No wisdom, though.
Flat on its back.
What? I'll let this happen, but Cosmo would go over to it.
Okay. Roll me your perception, Glenn. Or
for Poe, right? Yeah. 16 total.
Okay. So as Poe flies over, as you know, this forest is much sparser Seems like a much newer forest than the Highwood and some of the places you've spent in before. It's also during the day, and it's you can fully see everything around you. As they're getting further down, you're noticing that there's these the slime trails are almost they're getting wider, and there's more of them, almost like consolidating into almost like it starts looking almost marsh-like as it gets further on. With this like instead of water in the marsh, though, it's like this almost silverish, shiny kind of like fluid, and they start seeing these mounds that seem to have like kind of like an opening at the top of it, but they start seeing these mounds in varying sizes. Some are really small, and some are much larger, and some are some are the size of Champagne and Cologne, and some are much larger than that. Kind of as you're going further, and they kind of seem to be in these like little clumps wherever there's land between the kind of like slime marsh. That's a little bit.
So Poe, I'm gonna send Poe to kind of land near one of the smaller ones. If there's like like a cantaloupe opening sized one, or whatever the D&D version of a cantaloupe is, just to like kind of land near it and like look kind of down into the hole. Does he see anything?
Yes. So roll me an investigation.
I rolled a 1 with a -4, so -3.
That's absolutely perfect.
Crushing it.
So Poe, by the way, does a 22 hit Poe?
Just barely by like 1.
I'll allow it.
21 AC.
Poe, your pretty decently sized raven, kind of pokes their head over this hole, and the hole is like maybe this the width of like a piece of bread. And Poe pokes his head over, and they only see it for about a second as it wraps around their face, but a creature very similar to the one that Dan just threw against the tree leaps out of the hole with these tentacles kind of elongating from out of its face, slapping around the top of Poe and grabbing it around the head. So that 22 to hit, I'm going to roll some damage on you, and you can tell me whether or not you still have a Poe or not.
Is it going to be a positive number?
I mean, it'd probably be a negative number as it's it's never positive when he takes damage.
Well, I'm just gonna say Poe's got 1 HP because I just rolled for this iteration. So as long as it's above 1,
4 damage. So 4 damage as this thing reaches out of the hole and just wraps its tentacles around Poe's face. This mouth, like this kind of mouth that is like a circular with a bunch of teeth, just burrows into Poe's face, and Poe just poof and is gone. And this thing kind of like is confused for a second, and then kind of goes back into the hole.
Just scurries back.
Thought it was gonna get a little snack.
As that happens, Glenn kind of comes like back out of Poe's form or Poe's eyes and says, "Boys, avoid the holes."
What holes? The ones in? Where's there a hole?
You'll see. Just keep that in mind, Rangrim. Avoid the holes.
Avoid the holes. All right,
That's not a euphemism. That's like very specific to this location.
Cosmo, you were going to inspect the tossed creature.
Yes. I guess I was.
You walk over to it, and this creature. I mean, I've given a description of it now, but it is the same one that Poe just got to encounter. It's now being dead. It is flat on its back. Its tentacle seemed to have like 4 to 5 tentacles kind of coming off of its face that are now hanging limp, each of which seem to have like eyes on them. And there's just like a kind of a slimy underbelly and a kind of circular mouth with all these teeth in it. And as you get closer, you can see that it has like, it's mostly a green body with like these purple striations on it and kind of like shiny. But you can see that this thing is like relatively plump, like I said, like a big, thick loaf of bread. It's got some girth to it.
Does it look dead?
I mean, it is definitely not moving. You can roll an investigation on it if you'd like.
Okay. See if I can do this.
Or a nature check, whichever one.
It's an 11.
All right. Is that investigation or nature?
It's the same.
Okay. Okay. So you, The creature is not moving from what you can tell, and it seems to be a lot limper than something that was like just pretending to be asleep. So you'd surmise that it likely is dead or extremely unconscious.
Right. Cosmo would nudge it with his war pick to see if it moves.
Okay. You nudge it with your war pick, and it just kind of flops over limply.
Rangrim, I think it's dead.
Yeah, me too. But
Is
so this is what's in those in the Daas Dogs.
I don't know. If that is, I'm never coming near one ever again. But
These things look delicious.
Cosmo gags. Hey, Glenn, is this one big enough to keep, or is it lost?
I think we're supposed to go about Champagne size. I think we need to go a little bit bigger.
Oh, all right. Well, then I guess this
I mean,
one.
we might as well just add it. That could be like an hors d'oeuvres.
Right.
That might be like the mini dogs.
Do you want to start like a
We can make
pile
whole
or something?
line.
Do you want me to start a pile or something, or where would you like me to put it?
Throw them in the cart.
We left the cart on the street.
Throw it at the cart. Pick them up on the way out.
Right. Cosmo picks it up and throws it in the general direction of the cart.
Cosmo, as you're picking it up and throwing it, and it kind of like moves past your head, you get the kind of unsettling but distinct smell of Daas Dogs.
Disgusting.
Yes, what would you all like to do now?
Well, then there's only one thing left to do is just go find these things so we can start your terrible business idea. And
A franchise.
right, whatever. And Cosmo kind of pulls his shield off, kind of weapons ready, and starts slowly continuing down the side of this gooey path that now lies in front of him. He's wearing plate mail, but we're gonna go stealthily.
Okay, roll me stealth with disadvantage.
Were there any like hanging like high up in the trees, or was there like any more hanging? I really don't remember. And my spidey sense is not tingling at the moment.
So if you wanted to do an investigation or a perception to try to see, I'll say this because Grangrim has really good passive perception. I think that you probably see like maybe a couple other like weird nodules on the trees, but there's no like any larger sized ones. They're like the same or smaller size as the one you just yeeted against that tree.
Perfect. Okay. Right. So then I guess it would be stealth with disadvantage.
And if you all are trying to sneak up as well, you can also roll your stealths and describe how you're doing that.
I also have disadvantage.
I would be like loosely guiding the group the direction of like where those trails kind of converge. Like I would be like loosely dictating kind of which direction they should be moving, so they're not just like we're not all going different directions.
Yeah, as you're getting closer to this, you're starting to notice that there are trails coming from a bunch of different directions, and they're all heading in this centralized direction towards these mounds. But you're noticing that like it's not just the solitary single one, and there are some that are really big, like wider than your cart, and just some real big slimy trails. And then as you continue to get forward, you would notice that there are the kind of like seems like consolidation of this goopiness into these like larger pools.
So you mentioned that the forest is kind of sparse. It's like a newer forest. Is there enough tree coverage for Glenn to move tree to tree, or do I have to go down and be among the brambles?
So I mean, you're probably looking at a good. You can jump from tree to tree, but you're looking at probably good 30 feet sometimes between trees. So, and sometimes more than that. So you can certainly do it, but I'm going to definitely, it's going to be a high DC to do that with acrobatics.
Yeah. I'm happy to go down with the guys. I'll go a little bit, maybe like 20 feet in front of them. I'll be kind of just like giving them a route to follow. if
Okay.
they're cool with that. Guys, I'll find us a path that's a little more clear. Just remember, avoid the holes.
Right. Well,
Looking
let,
at you, Rangrim. Don't throw anything in them.
let's try and do this real quick and not piss off the big one that
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I think we almost pissed it off the first time when you threw it, Rangrim.
Well,
I
wanted to show it to Glenn, and he was up in a tree being all sneaky.
right.
I brought it down to you. I saw it already.
Then why did I throw it at you?
I don't know.
Well, we got to find a bigger one of these things, right? It's just we're gonna follow that slimy trail there, stealthily.
Try to keep me in your line of sight. I'm gonna be just like 5 feet off to the right of the trail and stay down. If you hear me go, caca, it means there's a hole real close. So just be aware.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, what were the stealth checks from you all?
6.
29.
8.
Oh, cool. So I will say this: the two dwarves, you're moving through this, this kind of like soft, kind of underbrush that's in this forest. It's not exceedingly like you're not crunching over twigs or sticks or anything like that. Like I said, it's spread enough out that you're able to like kind of pick a path. And though you are like kind of walking just normally and kind of your armor's clanging around, you're not like making an insane amount of noise, and it doesn't seem to disturb anything. Glenn, you're able to pick your way, through the trees just off the pathway. And are you all, once you start getting closer, you're seeing that these holes are kind of these mounds are kind of consolidated within this probably like 200 foot by 200 foot area. That's where most of them are at, with the kind of some of the really small ones spreading out a little further than that. Are you going up to like how close are you looking to get here?
If it's like an obvious like conglomeration of these holes are all starting to like pile together, I'd probably stop myself 20 feet outside the ring, and to them I would in my best crow voice go caw, just to get them to stop.
Awesome.
Whether or not Rangrim remembers what that means is up to Rangrim.
Cosmo looks in the sky.
Rangrim just like walks into Cosmo. Like, what are you stopping for?
But I heard a bird. I thought
guys, that was me. Just stop moving.
Oh, right.
I think we found the grouping of them. I think we found at least where they're stopping. So
Right. Well, I ain't going in that hole. I may be a mining dwarf, but that's no mine.
But yeah, so you all find yourself on the kind of outskirts of this ring of these varying sized mounds, and the hole in front of you is actually the one that Poe stuck his head into and had an unfortunate incident, a whoopsie-doo, if you will.
What if maybe we got a stick? We could just like take a stick or maybe a fishing pole. What if we try and fish it?
that's not a bad idea. Maybe we try to fish this bad boy out. I've got this. I just pull out my double-bladed scimitar. I was like, I can just stab the hole.
Well, we have to get the big thing out here. I don't want to be fishing it out of the hole. We want it to do the work.
Well, I think looking at the size of the hole, this one's not going to be as big, but I think you're onto something. Do you have a fishing pole?
I've got some rope and probably some rations in me pack. Like, Cosmo starts to.
What do we think these things eat? Can I do an investigation check or a nature check to see if there's any like seeds that have been broken up or any evidence of what these things might consume?
Yeah, roll me a nature check.
That's so bad. Why would I offer that? Why do I say things? Oh shit. Gentleman's 20.
Okay. Yeah, so you are you're kind of like looking around, and honestly I did not plan for this exact question, but I'll say that you're able to kind of surmise that there's these like kind of low growing bushes, these almost kind of like marsh like bushes that are growing kind of around the slime, and you're noticing that they seem to They're kind of like this gray, leafy bush, and they're kind of low to the ground, and they seem to be kind of chewed on and eaten in certain places. But they seem to be growing around this whole area, kind of at the base of the trees and like along the kind of slimy marsh.
Okay, I would take like 2 or 3 minutes to, I guess, pick some of that and like bundle it, like twine it, bundle it up, and hand it over to Cosmo. Like, I think it's the closest thing we're gonna get to bait.
Right. Okay. Well, give me a couple of handfuls of those leaves, and we'll just tie to this rope. See what happens.
As you're picking that, Glenn, you get like no. So this is a good thing.
Fireball.
You're kind of like sometimes sometimes there's the Daas Dogs are a little bit spicier, kind of like have a little bit more herbiness to them than others. You're like something kind of like feel like, oh, it's like, it kind of rings a kind of a little bit of a bell.
Daas, you're a monster. Yep. So I bundle up the sage, let's call it, and I hand it over to Cosmo, like, happy fishing, bud. And I'm assuming these red bushes are trees based off the fallen one. So
yes, they are.
I'm gonna go to like the low branch of the nearest one, just like get up like maybe like 10 feet high, I imagine, because they're not super thick trees, right?
Yeah, just roll me an acrobatics check.
Wow. I'm rolling super solid on the things that probably don't matter that much.
You grabbed a bush, nat 20.
24.
Yeah, you're able to very expertly pick your way up into this tree, and
as I hand him the sage, I just backflip up and land on it.
You definitely do that.
You do that.
Rangram and Cosmo, what are you doing?
So I've got this sage, or whatever it is, this spicy sage that we have now, and it's all wrapped up in some rope, and I'm gonna kind of stand back a little bit from the hole, like kind of where he is, probably relevant to the map, I suppose, right? We'll zoom in a little bit so you can see that. And he's just gonna take this, and he's just going to try and expertly throw it just on the inside edge of this hole.
Little mound thing. Okay. Yeah. Roll me either an athletics or no, actually roll me a dex. It would be sleight of hand, I think, to toss it.
A sleight of hand to a toss.
Or a ranged attack.
Okay.
I think either of those would work.
Let's see here. Ooh, nat 20.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
We're getting this at the wrong time, guys. This is bad. This is so bad.
I'll say you throw this thing into the hole, and it just like right in, just like swoosh.
Yeah,
boom shakalaka right in, and you feel this thing immediately. This line goes taut as this thing starts getting pulled down into the hole. What do you do?
I pull back. I said, "Ring, I got a fish, or I don't know where I got, but I got it."
Do a strength check with advantage.
Okay, another nat 20. Come on. That is not a nat 20.
Or athletics, I guess, with advantage.
Athletics is a gentleman's 20.
Okay. You, with the assistance of Rangrim, are able to. This thing goes flying into the air, pulls straight out of the hole, and is now like kind of like just on the end of the line, and just flying through the air, coming towards you. What do you all do?
As it's flying in the air, I'm gonna take a quick shot at it with my bow and just try to like in the air kill it.
Okay. Yeah, and this thing, by the way, is about the same size, a little bit bigger, but right on the same size of the one that you all just yeeted against the tree.
The little guy.
Yeah, it's a little guy.
And
I will make it
remember. I think it's a
visible.
+8. That is a 12 to hit.
Okay. Yes, that absolutely hits.
Oh, tight. And damage. Not a lot. 7 damage to it.
Okay. You shoot it with this bow, and the magical arrow just kind of pierces this thing, and you hear it give out this like tiny little, and then it just kind of like goes limp and continues to kind of fly now limply at Cosmo and Rangrim.
Well, so it just kind of Cosmo just is like pulling it. I mean, he was just yanking on that thing like a fishing rod, and so I mean, if we just kind of let it where it lands, I guess. I don't know.
So it kind of just lets go. Rangram, are you trying to catch it or anything? You just letting it go.
No, I'm just like watching.
So
This
it
whole
kind of
thing go down.
soars. It kind of soars over your head, and then as it kind of releases its mouth from this sage, and it just kind of flops limply on the ground and rolls impotently, and then comes to a stop.
Well, happy fishing, I guess then. And Cosmo pulls the rope back in, checks to see if he still has any of his sage bait left, or did the slug?
It's still there. Yeah, it's still in the end.
Right. Well, let's go try this hole over here. And he kind of looks around him to like the nearest hole that maybe looks a little bit bigger.
Okay. Yeah. So anyone who's looking out to see if they can find them, Rangram, what I'm going to start doing is I'm just going to use your passive perception unless your perception roll is better. I think that's how that would work.
Yeah, generally.
Yeah, just anyone who wants to keep an eye out for like looking for more of these holes, just roll me a perception.
I wouldn't be looking for holes. I'd be looking for living things. I am already aware that holes exist, but if I see anything like moving, because previously, right, we saw things like scurrying in the distance, I'd be keeping an eye out for that.
Okay. Yep.
A perception roll is what you want from me?
Yes.
I got a 19 to look out for movie things.
Okay.
Perception. Yep. Nope. Perceived nothing.
Well, what did you roll?
A 3.
Okay, good. Yeah, you're kind of looking around, and
I guess it would be a 4 with my bonus, but
yeah, I'll say that with that, you can kind of see that just like directly in front of you here, just kind of to the north. I'll ping the map here, but like right, I guess, is it double click? Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that there is one. Glenn, you're trying to keep an eye out for like living creatures.
Yeah, effectively. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You see that kind of underneath one of these trees, like over by where the fallen trees are to the north, you can see that there is a rather large one of these creatures that seems to be just kind of laying out amongst the foliage and the downed flora and fauna over there.
Do I get the impression that that's the size in which Daas was describing, or does it look bigger than the size that Daas was describing?
It is about as large as your entire cart and the donkeys combined. So,
oh shit,
it's extremely large. So I would say that it would be pretty difficult.
Sounds bigger than what he was.
Yeah, I mean, and when it comes to this stuff, like you have to you know your general amount that you're looking for is like a cart full. So it's kind of it's your choice of how you want to collect that heartful. You can go with smaller ones, you can mix and match, or you can just try to go for broke with one of these big boys. But it's a kind of dealer's choice there.
Okay, once I see that, before like Cosmo starts kind of stepping towards the next hole, I'm gonna quickly cast Mage Hand, and I think I have like 10 pounds of strength on my Mage Hand. Just like stop Cosmo. Wait. We got Big Bertha ahead of us. This might be enough in one trip, but considering how aggressive these little guys are, we might need to take this thing out quick. Hopefully not alert the rest.
Right.
And then I right directly in front of his hand, like genie hand, point the direction of like where the big guy is. Like that way.
It's going to be so directly north, near this like downed copse of trees where a couple of these trees have fallen over. Which actually, now that you're kind of looking in that direction, you're seeing that around where like the biggest hole is, this big giant mound in the middle. You can see that like when this hole kind of seems like it was made, whether it came out of the ground or what, you can see that there is like this slime oozing out of that hole, and that seems to be kind of filling this marshy area. And also it seems like the trees that fell were kind of forced out of the ground by this hole and or mound being formed.
Well, I mean, do you think we could smash it quick enough? I mean, I don't know. This slime is disgusting for one, but I gotta get over there and smash its head and not get eaten by one of these other bugs.
I mean, really, you could smash any part of it. I don't know why you always go for the head. It seems
You
really
do
like,
always go for the head.
indicative.
Well, that just seems like the quickest way out of it.
That's not how you solve. Like maybe there's a conversation that could be had. You can like, ask
yes,
it, like maybe
go-
do you want to come with us to get murdered?
Right, well then you just scurry on over there, your backflips and all, and just ask that slug if it'd like to come with us. Just ask it nicely. And then,
Rangram, go for it.
Well, go for what? And Rangram's like on his knees, like sticking his hand in like the slime, like
You
seeing how viscous it is. Like
yeah, roll me a actually no,
viscous check.
a viscosity check.
Yeah, no, you're good. I'll use your passive perception for this. So you're kind of like putting your hand into it. You're noticing that like it doesn't seem like it's super super deep. It's maybe like 6 inches of sliminess, but like you would probably be able to guess that if you went walking through this, you'd be moving quite a bit slower than normal. It would not be steady ground. And you're also seeing that like ahead of you, where that larger slug is, there's like a larger, like seems like there's like a corresponding hole that's like kind of close to in front of it, that it seems to be kind of lounging behind.
Well, I mean, so what you want me to go smash it?
No, I'm just kidding. We need to come up with a strategy to take out that beast because I imagine all those screams was the baby's family. And we're gonna need to either I'm gonna hate to say the sentence, but kill a lot of babies or kill one older one. I don't like how that came out. I'm not a huge fan.
That's the spooky stuff you get here with Almost Heroes.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that sentence.
Well,
We could try it.
You ever kill babies?
nope, never,
You want
never.
to smash their heads too?
I mean, to be fair, Sigurd was somebody's baby.
Oh my god. I mean, we could try baiting the large slug maybe away from the rest of the holes and kill it over here.
Yeah, you guys should try baiting.
We're gonna bait that slug.
I mean, we could just like set something on fire and just drop it in the hole, and something will happen.
Technically, I'm pretty sure that's what that mage Isaac Newton was saying at one point. Every action has a reaction, so technically
Yeah,
something
and
would
that's-
happen.
Something would absolutely like remember that house and whatnot. There's like, and we burned that down and killed that thing, and she was a weird slimy thing. So
It's true. I killed your daughter in there. That was pretty cool. I have a couple flasks of oil that we could just toss down a hole and burn it.
Well,
I'm afraid of what's going to come out of that hole. And I like genie finger point over to the giant mound.
right, that's why I would just rather fish out the ones we want. What if I just throw me rope over there and we'll just try and fish this big guy over this way?
I could not agree more. Cosmo, go for it.
Right.
Do you have enough rope and enough weight? I can give you a counterweight to the end of your rope, and you can just really set it out there and see if it works.
Well, I think I got enough rope. How I perceive how far away?
I think that included in everyone's pack is like a good. How long is the rope included?
50 feet.
50 feet. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna throw the grid on real quick.
It's 50 feet. I looked.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. What
If
is
you
it?
hold shift from the point, it'll actually give you a ruler.
Yeah, I was trying. I was doing it.
Yeah, you have a good 45 to 50 feet to it to throw it in front of it. So yeah, roll me a ranged attack, and we'll see whether or not you can Wonder Woman this thing over there.
Lasso of truth. Cosmo needs a lasso of truth.
It's true.
I'm gonna write that down. Let me get you a lasso of truth.
Right. Have Pop start working on that for me.
Glim's new mission is just to get the most lawful good items for Cosmo.
Yes. Okay. It is a 23 for a ranged attack.
Awesome. That is very
Expert
good.
fisherman.
So with the weight of this on the end of it, like you're able to huck this this kind of like bundle of herbs or plants over in front of this large slug, and for a second it kind of just like lands amongst the trees and just is sitting there, and then part of the rope just kind of like sinks into the quagmire of slime between, and then this you see these like tentacle eye stalks start kind of like lifting up and seems to take notice of this little morsel you've thrown in front of it, and it starts to kind of creep forward slowly and then kind of a little bit quicker as with more like purpose, I guess, as it's kind of there. What do you do, Cosmo?
As it's kind of like moving a little bit, like I don't know if he's a fisherman. I don't think he's a fisherman. He's a miner. He just kind of does like a little bit of like a little tug, kind of gives it like a little like makes it move, you know?
Okay.
Like a cat, like a little cat toy.
Okay.
Like a bait, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, so this thing, it's kind of like was moving at it slowly and deliberately, and then it kind of moves a little bit, and it seems to kind of like startle it, and its eye stalks kind of go up, and it seems kind of like on alert, and then it kind of just now like with its eye stalks up, kind of fanning out around this like slug-like head and this like kind of you can see this like spiral mouth just like full of these gnarly overlapping sharp teeth. It continues forward and it is moving in your general direction now, for better or for worse. It is kind of getting towards the edge of the quagmire at this point.
As it's getting closer, like ever so slightly, every time it gets a little bit closer, Cosmo slowly pulling in the sage. It's like, that's it, big guy. Just a little bit more. Nice and easy.
Okay. All right, sweet. This thing continues to move forward, and its eye stalks. It's like kind of focusing down, and then it gets kind of
all
towards,
its eye stalks, like all of them focused on it.
So all of them were focused down, and then it kind of, as it starts getting into the like, you see it kind of slide into this quagmire of like slimy marsh, and kind of parts around it, and then
Cosmos, as it gets within like 15-20 feet, Cosmos stops moving the rope and just lets it get as close as it wants to the sage.
Okay, so about halfway into this marsh, then it catches up with your rope and just kind of like begins kind of engulfing into its mouth the rope, including the sage or herbs.
Right. Well, I think this is as good as we're gonna get. Go. Glenn?
Okay.
Right.
We go.
Right. Did we smash it?
I pull my bow. There's like a flash of light. Are you sure about this, Cosmo?
Wait, it's I'm along for the ride. This is you.
Oh God.
Rangrim, what's your genius idea right now?
Rangrim standing behind Cosmo, just shrugging.
All right, and I let go an arrow. I
Okay,
let loose a volley.
So I need for everyone to roll initiative, and then that will be a surprise round. Roll me your attack.
Okay. I rolled initiative first, which was a 13, and then wow, same exact roll. 16 to hit.
Yes, that does hit.
I hate to ask this question because it's technically against me, but does it have any kind of coverage because of that slime or no?
Oh, this thing just rolled a natural 20 for its initiative.
Fuck.
By the way, so far with it, I've rolled a 13, a 19, and now a 20.
Fine.
But yeah, sorry. It does not have any cover against you. No, it's completely exposed.
And then second question, since it's a surprise round, do I get sneak attack?
Yes.
Yes, I am. Sweet. I'm gonna roll with advantage then, which is a nat 20.
Ooh. There you go. That's what you wanted it for. Actually, that is, yeah, because with sneak attack, that's going to be great.
And I'm hidden too. Yeah, neat.
What is everyone else's initiative rules?
A 12.
16.
I got a 13. Wait, 14, excuse me.
We got Rangrim.
I'm first at initiative?
Nope, 13.
You
Sorry,
are.
13.
Rangrim, Glenn, no Poe this time.
No,
And
Poe's
then
very dead.
Cosmo. Awesome. So, Glenn, you roll me your damage.
It's been so long since I've hit anything. So I get a double.
I'm so sick. This thing got a natural 20.
I'm not.
I'm just glad it did it then instead of on me.
Yeah, on hit. Yeah, that's true. That's just 13 there. 46 damage.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah, so you absolutely blast this thing with an arrow, and like it kind of like how it happens is it kind of like goes and looks up with its eye stalks, and then its like open mouth is just there, and you just belt this thing like right in the center of like the eye stalks, right above the mouth, and you can see that it has like a grouping of like even more eyes there that are kind of just like collected on its face, and you just like blast it with this magical arrow that just like, kind of explodes and like leaves this kind of like gaping hole in the front part of its face, knocking it back a bit, and yeah, doing an insane amount of damage. You said 44 damage?
46 damage.
46 damage, okay. This thing is immediately bloodied and is now going to absolutely begin charging Cosmo, who is right there in front of it. Yeah, so I'm going to, so this thing just like eye stalks up, just moves way faster at you than you would have ever expected, and is just like on you in a second. Its mouth opens up larger than you, Cosmo, and it is going in for a bite attack on you.
Perfect.
That is going to be a 19 to hit, the first one. Okay. Oh, that's going to be an 18 plus 6, 24 to hit.
Just a little bit. Just barely.
This is a fun little thing. You all watch as this thing just moves like a small train just at Cosmo. Its mouth opens wide and it just goes and envelops around Cosmo completely. Cosmo, you've been swallowed.
Congrats, bud.
So it can make a bite attack against a larger, smaller creature. That it basically counts as a grapple if it hits you. Target if the attack hits, the target is swallowed, and the swallow target is blinded and restrained and has total cover against other attacks. So you're really lucky there. From the outside,
blinded and restrained.
You can attack, you can't move. Yeah, you have disadvantage on it.
And you're also blind, which is cool.
Which is fine. I'm inside of it, so I think I know where I'm at. I just need to hit something.
Swing forward.
So that is going to be 24 points of piercing damage to you, Cosmo, as basically these teeth on the inside of this creature just like bite down into your armor, and you're basically just being like pressed on all sides by these like piercing teeth that are lining the inside of this creature. And you start feeling this kind of acid burning you and starting to seep through your armor. It is Rangrim's turn.
Okay. 2 seconds. I'm just reading something.
That was not good for me. That was real bad.
I feel great about where we ended up.
I think what's worse of all of those effects, the one that he left out, is the wonderful odor that now Cosmo's engulfed with on the inside of said.
I told you smell worse than the elf does.
It's like being inside a Daas Dog now.
I mean, could you imagine a greater place, though?
All right.
Right, it's the new flavor if I die. It's the Cosmo Daas Dog line.
It's true, yeah.
Probably sell it for more.
That's not
Maybe
gonna
an
happen.
addition. It has gold leaf.
Brangrim is going to cast Spiritual Weapon using my bonus action, and I'm going to have it go directly behind this creepy slug guy.
Okay.
And simultaneously, so it spawns, I can move it and attack with it. And I'm also going to make a melee attack with my action. And I'm going to go, no, drop it, as me and my spiritual weapon are kind of swinging and hitting him at the same time, or at least that's how I'm trying to time it. So so my spiritual weapon's attack is a 21 to hit.
Yes, very much.
And mine is a 19 to hit.
Yes, both those hit.
Sick.
Nice. So those are both a D8 plus 3. No, D8 plus 4 for spiritual weapon.
I just realized Cosmo's actually inside the worm right now. That's very that's strangely satisfying for some reason.
That's the first time for everything, ladies and gentlemen. Cosmo's the first person to get swallowed by something.
It's true.
It's true.
That's fair.
Add it to the wiki.
When the tequila strikes back.
That's so good.
It's 12 damage from my spiritual weapon and 7 damage from my attack.
Okay, awesome. Yes, that is very good. Sweet. So you just slam down on this thing, basically, simultaneously with your spiritual weapon, which it's a mace as well, or a hammer as well, right? Warhammer.
Yep, it takes the shape of a hammer. Yes.
Was I assume with like the Moradin symbol on it?
Yeah.
Sweet. You just double slam this thing. You just hammer fist it onto itself, and it does not die, but like it definitely seems like it took this full damage, and like you can kind of see that, like you probably hear Cosmo from the inside like kind of yell out a bit as this thing gets kind of like beaten on, really tenderizing that meat. Glenn, it is your turn.
A lot of euphemisms going on tonight.
Yeah. And it's a hot dog themed episode, so
that's true. It's mystery meat,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I gotta go for it from the top of the tree. I'm gonna just like full blown Rey Mysterio, jump out, do a backflip, and as I'm in the air, pull the double bladed and just go straight down through the top of its head. I'm just gonna try to impale it. I'm gonna land and just try to stab it with. No, I can't do that. It's a bad idea because that's thunder and not lightning damage. I'm gonna learn my lesson. I'm just gonna try to.
Fucking great.
I'm just gonna attack it. No, I'm just gonna attack it. But it's fighting Rangram, right? So I have advantage.
Yeah.
I'm gonna learn my lesson. Oh fuck! I hope this hits.
Oh god.
Uh-oh. Oh, plus 9. I'm great. 19 to hit.
Yes, that does hit.
All right, and I'm gonna get sneak attack on that bad boy. Oh, I rolled terribly on the attack. 3 plus, so 9, and then the attack. Oh my god, that's terrible. So 19 damage on the hit.
Yes. So let me see where we're at right now. You come straight down on this thing's head, and it kind of like just absolutely impale it directly between the eye stalks and just like stick it to the ground, and it lets out this like screech, and then its like head kind of just like it begins to fall backwards, and its head kind of like splits apart as it falls backwards. Its
like
mouth
against
kind of
the
like
blade.
Yeah, kind of like partially open
gross.
as it falls backwards. Its head like kind of half filleted, and it kind of just like you see it extremely gooey Cosmo kind of come out, emerge from the inside of this thing, just standing there like dripping with this slime. Just think like the first Men in Black, like at the end of it. Very much that. So, as this thing kind of screeches, you hear like some rustling from some of the nearby mounds, but nothing seems to emerge as of right this second.
Boys, I think we need to start moving, and I'd like kind of reach out a hand to help Cosmo out of the goo. I take his hand, and I try to like pull him into the goo.
Do an athletics check.
I'm a sleight of hand. Do one of these.
Do a sleight of hand versus the athletics check.
My athletic. Oh god, his plus 11 is gonna just like absolutely demolish me.
I'm gonna go ahead and let you say your number before I say mine, just to see.
Suspense.
The suspense. Well, my athletics check was a 21.
I got 23. Sorry, bud.
Yeah, well.
I'm like, hey, and I see you're gonna like grip, and like I see the intent, and I'm like, nope.
I just splash it on him instead.
Cosmo, you go to splash it onto him, and you realize the viscosity of this is way too much, and you just like slide your hands through it, and it just like doesn't leave your hands. It just like you slide your hand through it, and it just kind of like flicks off your hand, like maybe like a good 6 inches, and then just kind of like hangs from your hand, and it's not really kind of splashing on him like a liquid should.
I like see the intent. I'm like, all right, that's fair. This is on me, and I take like with my mage hand, I just like wipe it onto like just my elbow. I'm like, see, we're the same.
next time you're the one that is gonna get eaten by the big worm. That was disgusting.
I sure hope not. Let's get the hell out of here, yeah, because I think that little scream's gonna wake up something out of that. And again, genie hands point to the giant fucking hole.
As you're genie handing over to the really large mound, you're starting to see that there seems to be like more of this like viscous liquid that's kind of like coming over the top, almost like just keep using metaphors, but think like Spirited Away when that thing is in the bath and like the stuff is kind of just like flopping over the like the liquid is like flopping over the edge of that bath, like just like lots of more of that is almost like surging out now and flooding the marsh around it.
Boys, we need to start going now, and
What?
I'm gonna like be dragging it by the eye stalk to the cart, like as kind of like as fast as I can, like that.
Right.
Probably not doing shit.
You all are very far away from the cart, but if you all want to figure out some sort of way to get this thing moving,
So
go for it.
Cosmo takes his
All
rope.
Lynn's got.
Cosmo takes his rope and starts to kind of like he makes like a half loop in the middle of it to put it around its head, and then he's just Rangrim, bring the donkeys.
All right. Come on, girls.
Donkey.
It's okay.
What
Don't be scared of this.
not a lot of time. They need to double time it. Right, they need bring out the stallion in them. Let's go.
So I would take the rope, and I would. I'm assuming they both have some sort of harness on them, and I don't know which one of them is larger or faster. So I'm gonna.
I
Probably
think
neither.
Champagan is a mule and Cologne is a donkey. So I think that's how it breaks down. So I think Champagan would technically be a little bit bigger.
Champagne it is.
Right, and Cosmo's taking at least he gives one end of the rope to Rangrim and takes the other one to start tying it to the other. Are we tying to both or just to one?
We might as well do both, right? I mean, I got some rope here too.
Right, well, just whatever gets us out of here faster.
How do you tie knots?
How do you tie your shoes?
Well, they're metal. You tie yours? I just jam my foot in and it don't come out.
Right.
As is happening, mage hand on one of the ropes, just tying it up, and then I'm coming to the other side and tying the other. Like I'm tying both sets of knots. But boys, we don't have time for this.
Right. Well, we'll teach you how to tie your shoes later.
That would be nice because I don't think they're on the right feet and they're really hard to get on and off.
Right. And getting the slug all tied up, it's just get going.
I'm so nervous. I'm so uncomfortable right now.
So and Rangrim, roll me an animal handling check with advantage.
You got it. With advantage?
Mhm.
I like that. It was a 16.
16, awesome. Yeah, you're able to calm Champagan and Cologne and get this thing attached to them in a way that's comfortable, kind of mounting it to their like harnesses and packs that they're currently wearing. I assume you maybe tuck that little baby slug in there as well.
Just throw it in the mouth of the bigger one. And just chuck it in the gaping hole that exists.
Nice. Yeah. So you get this all loaded up, and you're starting to like just kind of quietly. Everyone's like moving, dragging this thing slowly out of the slime and kind of down back. I guess southwest at this point, back down that path. And like as you're going, you notice this, Rangrim, because of your passive perception, but you see this like little mound just kind of like slowly moving towards you down the slime path. And then it just kind of like
away from us, like the way that we came from.
Yeah, coming down where you came from, moving towards you slowly, and you're just getting closer. You're noticing that like it seems kind of like moving at like not a. It seems injured, and then you notice that it's the one that you threw against the tree. It's all bruised and doesn't seem to be doing very well. And then it kind of like gets within maybe 30 feet of you, and it puts its face up like this, and all its tentacles come up, and it just goes. And just lets out this screech that echoes through, and you just hear that echoing cacophony of screeches again in different tones and voices. And you hear this like large slurping of this liquid coming up from behind you as this monstrous monstrous creature rears its head out of that hole
What
and
the fuck is
starts
that?
coming out of the
Like-
ground, poking its head up, and its tentacles kind of unfurl around it. And then it kind of like its eyes are blinking, all looking, and then you see its eye stalks kind of all swivel to see you.
Doss, what is wrong with you?
I
what
should
do you
have
do?
I should have killed it.
We are in essentially a chase scene if you all would like to just hoof it, or you can turn and fight. What would you like to do?
Glenn looks to Cosmo and says, I really hope your horse is going to show up for this one. And he gets in front of Cologne and Champagne and just bisects the baby that was in front of us and just screamed. And then like grabs like the, I don't know, like the reins, whatever, something that is connecting the two, and just starts pulling them. Like, I'm trying to help Rangrim as much as possible get these donkeys moving.
I will give you vivisecting that thing without a problem. You basically just like cut it in two, and it just falls apart in two halves. I do need an animal handling check from you.
Okay. Oh fuck yes, that was a bad idea, huh? Really stress them out more. Oh shit. It's a natural 18 plus 0, so 18.
Yeah, so I'll say that you grab onto Cologne
It's because of the ears.
100%. Yeah,
I'm connected. I'm connected.
Well, yeah, it's actually the unicorn headband you're wearing. You're jiving with them right now.
I'm one with the Champagne.
You grab onto the front of Cologne and Champagne and just start pulling them. And to your surprise, as you're kind of like you're giving them too much pull and they're starting to come with you. Maybe it's the screeching noises from behind them that are kind of
murder monster
urging them forward. Rangrim, Cosmo, what are you doing?
Cosmo is doing what dwarvens do best, and he is sprinting. While also he is telepathically communicating with Steve to get his stallion ass down here.
Do you need to cast it, or where is Steve at?
He was with the cart. I was riding him.
He's with the cart, and he's you connect with him, and he's, I'll be right there, Cosmo. He's coming to you though, and you're heading their direction. Rangrim, are you on Cologne and Champagne, or are you just leading them?
I would be on Cologne with holding Champagne. I mean, I'd be on Champagne, holding Cologne's lead.
And are you trying to urge them forward?
Yes.
Okay. Give me another animal
With
handling
due
check with
haste.
advantage. With advantage, because your connection.
I so much want to fight that thing, but at the same time, what the fuck?
That's
14.
the franchise, bro.
14. I'll say that with Glenn's urging as well, you're able to get them to put a little bit more hitch in their giddy up, and they are just starting to pull this thing down the path. It is kind of like flopping along behind you as you're going at your donkey and mule speed as you all are running down this pathway. This creature kind of just like slurps out of this hole and is just kind of like, you see the tree in front of it between you just kind of like fall to the side as it just like lets out this like really deep and guttural version of that screeching. And you see that there are more of them that are just kind of like floop, 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 like coming out of the holes and are just like following behind you, of different varying sizes. Some like the largest of which are most around the size of the one that you killed, but there are smaller ones too.
Are they in between us and Mama, or
they are not? They're all
her?
behind you at this point.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they're kind of around her. Think of like a herd of them around her. She's moving the quickest though.
I'm going to, as I see that like Rangrim's moving the girls along, nice. I'm going to real quick turn around and I don't even fucking know if this is gonna work. I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast the illusion that is Cosmo, but he's going to be, because I think I can do a 5-foot cube. Yeah. I'm going to cast the illusion of Cosmo, and he's going to be like wounded and limping and without armor and looking real easy to eat.
Looking like an absolute snack.
Looking like a snack, like ready to be swallowed a second time.
Awesome. Yeah. So
And then I'm going to keep running.
Yeah, so I believe roll me a deception check with advantage.
Neat.
Uh,
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Nat
yeah.
20
Okay.
plus 7, so 27.
Sweet. So you all are you're moving at a good pace. I'll say you're moving like quickly at like a 35 like 35 feet per whatever round or whatever pace. Like you're cruising down this pathway. It's kind of like sliding along this already like slick slime trail, and it's kind of just like bouncing around behind Cologne and Champagan, and you just are running. And this thing, like, you cast this, Glenn, and it kind of this snack of a Cosmo just appears behind you, and you're able to distance yourself from it, and you see this like mama slug just like get to the point of it and kind of your illusion, and just kind of like you see the sheer scale of this thing now, probably like 20 feet tall, monstrous figure, and it kind of rears itself up and just dives straight down into the Cosmo and burrows itself into the soft earth, and kind of like halfway buried in the ground. And then you see like it like start moving around and thrashing as if it's like attacking something, and the rest of them kind of are grouping around it, and it has stopped moving. Continue to roll me some d20s, all of you, just straight up and down.
Do I see Steve yet?
Actually, you can add your athletics to it. Athletics plus d20. You do not see Steve yet.
What about for our more nimble friends? Do they get their acrobatics?
You can do your acrobatics if you want. You can just be doing flips and shit down the
Just
pathway.
doing cartwheel. I back handspring when I run. I'm just.
No, it's what's more. It's a Naruto run. It's very dexterous.
I'm sorry. I also Rangram. I think it would be another animal handling check for you too, because you're technically you're on them.
So then, would that be instead?
Yeah, it would be instead. Yeah.
Okay.
My athletics is a 21.
Okay.
Yeah, I did great.
18 for animal handling.
Nice. 23.
Okay, awesome. You guys are just making distance now at this point, and Cosmo, you can actually see Steve galloping towards you in the distance. Is everything okay, Cosmo?
No, I got swallowed by a worm, and it's real gross, and it's out of. Bleh.
Well, hop on. Let's get you to safety there, Buckaroo.
Amazing.
Steve slides to a stop in front of you and kind of it kind of turns back around and is ready to run alongside Champagan and Cologne. I assume you're jumping up on Steve?
Yes.
Okay. So I think that this will be the last leg of it here. As you kind of get up on Steve and look back around behind you, you see the mama slug with a bit of distance now behind you, kind of pull her head out of the ground, mud and slime just kind of flinging off of her eye stalks as she's like shaking her head, and there's like dirt and crap flying out into the air, and you see all of her eye stalks lock back on you again, and she continues the chase. I need a animal handling check with advantage from Cosmo, animal handling check with advantage from Rangram, and then an acrobatics check from Glenn.
Damn.
I'm so afraid to roll a 1.
Oh, I rolled a 1, but I have advantage. 15.
I rolled a 1 as well, but I have advantage.
Oh, no!
I didn't have advantage, right?
You do not have advantage because you're on your feet.
Fuck. I rolled a 1.
Oh my god! All three of you rolled ones?
Yeah. No, I had advantage, so it resets to a 4.
Rolled ones.
Granted, it's a 9 total, but I rolled a 1.
Oh, but I rolled a 4, but not on a nat 1. It was a 3 plus 1.
Yep, I rolled a nat 1 for a total of 9. But RDM
Glenn,
loves those ones.
Glenn, holy shit! You guys, if you hadn't had advantage, you guys would have all rolled ones. That's insane. I've never even seen that before.
It was the first die I rolled too.
It was, yeah. My first die was a 1.
Mine landed in the tray, bounced, hit my keyboard, and landed between the 2 trays on a 1.
John curses these before he sends them out.
Oh, I do, and I just pushed a button underneath my desk that made them all flip to ones.
It's like a trouble, like the game Trouble. Just
100%.
Shit.
Fuck. Cosmo, Rangren, you are just like you're just channeling that energy through Steve, and then Rangrim, you're just like patting Cologne on the butt, just like go, making great distance. Glenn, you're feeling great about it. You're running and you're just like running past these trees, making sure not to step on the slime, doing a great job. You turn back around and you look and you see that like, oh, there's plenty of space between you and that thing. It's not gonna be able to catch you. You turn back around. There's one of these creatures that is on the tree in front of you. It lifts itself off of it. Its tentacles explode, like just like, and you run directly into it as it wraps around your face.
Can I get a reaction?
Yes, it's gonna attack you first though. If
I'm going to use a reaction. Go ahead.
it is so yeah.
I use my reaction to cast shield.
So okay.
So like as I see that, I'm like, fuck! Just like
Yeah.
Similar to like when we were running through the house with the armor.
Yeah.
Just like, nope. It's like
So I don't think that's actually gonna get you. So that was a 19 plus 3 to hit you.
no, if I did not cast shield, I'd be dead. Yeah, no, that's I have a wait, what was it?
A
19 plus 3.
No, I have 23.
Oh
So
my
21
god.
to 23. Oh, nope, doesn't hit. Misses.
It's 22 to your 23. Then that's
Oh
insane.
my god. Oh my god.
So I'll say that this thing
I'm an
like
unhappy unicorn.
it you cast shield in front of you, and this thing like it does like it hits you in the face, but it's like teeth are just gnashing at you, and it can't get through your magical shield.
Cool.
And you're able to roll me a just roll me a sleight of hand to see if you can get this thing off you, or whatever you would want to do. To I guess probably sleight of hand's the best thing to be able to get this thing off, or a strength.
I imagine it would be something dex based, like I would like try to slip it almost. Because
Yeah,
like a sleight of hand's supposed to be like gentle, right? Like I imagine it'd be like
He's trying to like slide in underneath it.
yeah, like a slip.
Do a dex saving throw.
Okay, I don't want to because like sleight of hand's a plus 11. That doesn't seem quite fair.
He did it again. He did it again.
1.
Yeah,
Let's
I did.
go.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
did. Yeah, I did.
so you're running this thing wraps around your face. You
need
do
a
the magical
beer.
shield. It isn't able to bite you, but you're now running with this thing and you're blind because it's wrapped around your
around
face.
the shield. I'm just like no!
Yeah, you're wrapped around and it's wrapped around your face. You're running blind right now, which means that you're running with basically disadvantage at this point.
Acrobatics with disadvantage.
Yeah.
I need a beer.
You all see, you just hear Glenn screaming
no,
out
no,
as he's
no,
running
no,
with
no,
this
no,
thing
no,
in
no,
front of him. What are you all doing? Are you stopping or are you continuing to go?
I see. Go ahead, Rangrim. Go.
Rangrim, leading both of the donkeys, is going to attempt to do like a drive-by and grab Glenn and throw him onto the donkey onto my right.
So are you slowing down to let him catch up then?
I think I'm behind you.
You're behind us.
You just gotta keep going, man.
I
keep
thought
going.
you were in front of us, so this is where you die, Glenn.
Yeah. Just a giant worm.
You just see Glenn running like, with this thing on his face.
No.
So
So I would kind of slow speed to see if we can let him catch up.
Okay.
yeah, go ahead. So Cosmo is going to try and turn on Steve and run back to get him.
Okay. So Rangrim, you're slowing down, and then you see Cosmo just like turn. I need a animal handling check from you, Cosmo, to have Steve run back towards these creatures.
You wanted me to roll acrobatics at disadvantage, right?
Yes.
At disadvantage. I got a 15.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh my God.
1. Stop it! No! What is happening? What did you do?
Cosmo, you pull on the reins.
Why are you helping me?
You pull on the reins, Cosmo, and Steve just kind of like you hear him in your head. He goes, Buckaroo, we're not going back there. And then he just continues forward.
Yes.
Kind of like you're not bidding, but is not going back to save your friend. He is continuing to gallop forward.
Good, Steve.
And you're passing by Rangrim. You're just like booking it full Steve ahead
Nice.
as Rangrim slows down. So Rangrim, roll me a animal handling check as well.
Oh gosh.
22.
Sweet. So you're able to like kind of pat and like whoa and calm down Cologne and Champagne to get them to kind of slow to more of a trot. Glenn, you shortly thereafter running just kind of like straight ahead with this thing in front of you, collide with the rump rear end of Cologne, and just kind of like probably knock the wind out of yourself a little bit. But you are right there with Rangrim.
Is it still with me, or has it like have I like schlothed it off and I'm still running?
Roll me a d20. Straight it down.
An 11.
Okay, there you
Just
go.
on the
I'll
cusp,
say that
yeah.
at some point
Two
you were just
ones.
like, and it kind of just slipped over the top of you and your shield, and has kind of like flopped back behind you and is just kind of like moving at you now, but it's so small that it's not really able to cover much ground. But you are there, you had just collided with the back end of Cologne. What do you do?
Like as I run into it, I'm like, I'm like, that a girl, and I like do that like mount thing. I like jump up on her back and like just land. Wait, is Rangrim on Cologne or Shane?
I was just gonna ask that. Which one are you on?
I don't remember. I get them very thoroughly confused.
He loves them
I like
both
the idea
equally.
that he's on Cologne, so you jump up on the back
mount behind him. Yeah, I'm just like,
exactly. So now you all are just kind of like Rangrim. You're able to get them going quicker again. I'll just use that same animal handling. And you all are just booking it with Steve way ahead of you at this point. And you start, Cosmo, you see that you are getting close to the edge of the forest, and you can see the cart kind of tucked in there into the trees. What do you do? You're going to reach it first.
I'm going to try and pull I don't know if I could do this fast enough. I would want to like try and pull the cart out so that, well, wait a minute. Is this slug even going to fit on our cart?
It's about the same size as your cart. It's going to be...
But our cart's a forge, isn't it?
he said like it's this length of the cart and our donkeys. We're gonna have to like butcher it or drag it all the way to town. I think we just keep fucking going.
I will say you do have a big cage on the back that kind of has a little bit of height in it. If you want to just really shove this thing in there, and I'll bet you could get it in.
I don't know if we. Yeah, I don't
You
think.
probably won't be able to take naps in the back. That's gonna
I
smell
can't.
real weird.
I can't read the story.
So Cosmo just in the get out of here is just going to like hitch up Steve to the cart.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, just roll me.
Roll you in that one? Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm trying to think of what the best thing would be for this. I honestly think it's going to be sleight of hand because it's going to be just quickly tying up and getting this thing done really quickly.
All
yeah,
right.
so I think it's going to be sleight of hand.
Here it comes, guys. Ready? Fuck.
You go to tie it and you tie yourself to Steve and you run away.
Sleight of hand is an 18.
Okay, so you're able to like you bring Steve to and also Steve knows what he's doing. Steve kind of like slides to a stop in front of this cart and kind of backs in, and you're able to like just communicating with him. You're able to tie him up to this and attach him up to this cart pretty quickly, and get this thing pulled so that it's facing away, back down the pathway at this point, back towards Tin Town. As Rangrim, I need you to make me one last very important animal handling check with advantage.
While he's doing that, from like sitting back saddle, I'm gonna take one of my oil flasks and my green flame blade, and I'm going to throw it out and hit it and just cast like green flames in the oil behind us, like just light the forest behind us on fire.
You're lighting a forest fire in a local
Hey,
forest?
it's not 2020, man. This isn't a national park. This isn't a gender reveal. It's okay. They're gonna be able to put it out with the slime. But yeah, I'm gonna give us some fire coverage behind us.
Okay.
I got a 16 on my animal handling check.
A 16? Great.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm gonna roll a percentage dice right here right now.
Oh, that's never good.
That's never good. That just means he's not sure what he wants to do.
It's like, how am I gonna kill him?
So
Son of a bitch.
Rangrim, you are able to like expertly like Cosmo, you have this cart faced away, and you're kind of like moving it towards town a little bit, like, and you see just Cologne and Champagan and Rangrim and Glenn just come bursting out of the side of this this forest and like into the pathway, kind of like just tearing down the path, this like worm like flopping behind it as they're kind of like running at full donkey and mule pace. And you see Glenn take this oil flask and like throw it into the air behind him and then just shatter it with green flame blade. And
Awesome.
it lands on the ground and hits this slimy path. And you see just like a line of kerosene flies down this pathway like into the woods and kind of like towards like where you all are too, where it meets the actual path, and you see it just kind of like start burning there, but it just like zips with this like and you just, as you all are heading back down the path at full speed, continuing to run away back towards Tin Town, running south down this pathway, you see this giant fireball just kind of go up maybe like 100, 150 feet in the woods, and you just hear this cacophony of shrieks, and as you all are getting more and more distant, they kind of seem to kind of die off and go, not die off, but they seem to kind of
Not want to be
fade
chasing
away
us.
into the distance, and you see just like a pretty sizable column of smoke coming from the forest.
So as that's
Big
yeah,
bada boom.
exactly. We just gained 6 levels.
Rangrim didn't see anything
Yeah.
because he didn't look at the explosion. He kept eyes
he's
forward.
that cool.
Absolutely.
So as that happens,
Sunglasses
and
materialize on your face.
Glenn's
Mhm.
looking back, he kind of just like he just like slowly turns forward and he's like, we're good. You can slow
We're
down.
better
It's
than you
fine.
expected,
Yeah, it's fine,
I
it's fine.
think.
We just stop going. Just casual walk. We'll be good.
So are you just you all are continuing to town?
Yeah, Steve and Cosmo were on our way with the cart. We did not. Steve had no interest in stopping.
Yeah, Steve's
Yeah.
a terrible steed.
Yeah.
He's-
So
Well, he
With-
didn't stop and save you, so he's doing great.
within a pretty short period of time, you all are able to. I assume at some point you kind of slow from full-fledged like gallop to like more of a regular trot. But it probably doesn't take you more than like, it's a pretty short travel back to town. You kind of you hit the edge of Tin Town, the rim of it that's surrounded by the trees, and you kind of go off to the right-hand side there, and you are able to get back down and kind of start slowly ramping back down into Tin Town, dragging your prize behind you, and are able to make it down into the middle of town.
I think just before. No,
Do
yeah.
you want to
that's
stop
fine.
and do something else?
I was
before
gonna say,
bringing in?
I feel like we might want to disguise this if we're gonna try to get anybody to want to eat it again, or at least cover it up. Like, I don't think we want to just walk into town with this slug and be like, "Here you go, Daas. Here's your meat for your food." Like,
You weirdo.
yeah, I think we should. I think Glenn would have like kind of pulled up the like, "Hey guys, some crazy fire happened behind us. I don't know what happened. It was a freak accident. I think we should load this up, maybe chop it up a little bit, and put it underneath one of our tarps so people
Well,
don't realize what they're eating."
Can't you just cast a spell on it or something? I really don't want to touch this thing. I was in it.
That's a good point. Actually, yes. I already knew that I could do that, but I just wanted to make you feel good about yourself. And I'm going to cast Minor Illusion and make it look like a cut up cow.
Okay. Equally as gory, I would probably argue, but less unsettling for some.
For some dark reason.
Yeah, for some dark reason. Yeah. So this thing probably. I think we're playing a little bit of Calvin Ball with maybe the size that that Minor illusion can actually disguise, but
It's a 5-foot cube or a 30-foot area. Sorry, I'm looking at it right now. Oh, yeah, I don't actually fully understand. Oh, the range is 30 feet. Yeah. Nope, definitely can't do that.
okay.
Nope, definitely can't do that.
Yeah, it's probably a good
We're just going to cover it with a tarp.
10 feet long. I would
yeah.
say.
Well,
I'm-
what?
I'm gonna say I chopped it in half, just kind of hacked it away once we're closer to town, but out of sight, and then
Okay.
covered it with like some tarps and closed our little cage, like a little
Oh,
forage
dude.
cage on it. It's not a good look.
It looks like a bunch of gross, like it looks like you chopped wood, but they're gooey,
It's leaking.
gooey, yeah, gooey leaking like lumber. And yeah, you have this thing in your cart that is seeping all kinds of nastiness behind it. Are you going directly to Daas?
We do not pass go. We do not collect $200. We go to DOS.
You find Daas in his normal place, kind of in the middle of town, pushing his cart around. It's like, hey, I mean, not for nothing, but it seemed like that was pretty quick.
Well,
We've seen some things.
I've
Oh, I figured we'd have some stuff to talk about when you got back. How are y'all feeling about the little secret?
You owe me money to keep that secret safe. And he's going to persuade him.
Okay. Yeah, roll me persuasion.
That is a 17.
Okay. Yeah, no, of course. I mean, what do you think I'm gonna have you do this for free? Hey, Rangrim.
Hmm.
He's just kind of like looking at you, and he goes and opens up the cart and like pulls out a Daas Dog, and you can see that like the purple and green striations are much more familiar to you now, and just kind of like puts some of his condiments on it and goes, "You want one?"
Oh yeah, it does work up an appetite when you go out hunting for things like this. And I'm just sitting there like eating it and just like looking at Cosmo while I'm doing it, not like purposely trying to gross him out, just oblivious to the situation.
How did you describe it last time? An insidious burp. So you're insidiously eating this
Yeah.
Daas Dog.
Rangrim, you remember? Never mind. We're okay.
Well, I love you,
What?
but this is the farthest I felt from you in ever.
Well, yeah, I've seen what your mom puts in that stew. It's not lizards.
It's not worms.
Hey, yeah, it's one, to each their own. It's one of those things. It's delicious whether or not it's pretty. So I got my little place over here, which is where I do the I guess where the sausage is made. I guess we'll use that, that kind of thing. But yeah, if you want to just follow it over here and we can unload. That thing looks like it's leaking quite a lot off the back of there. And yeah, by the way, don't get flames anywhere near that. It's extremely flammable. I just one of those things that I just, doesn't come up often, but just wanted to make sure you can use that stuff as kerosene. It's crazy.
Would have been good information before we went there, because that place might not be there anymore.
Yeah, we might have ended most, if not all, of the food supply. It was going really, really well, and then
Well,
I'm pretty sure Rangrim.
Oh my God. What are you talking about?
we didn't see any chunks fly. She could still be there.
That's true. We don't have confirmation. She might
What?
just be a little cooked. She's probably gonna be real mad next time you go to visit. So
What?
make sure you have a plan, because we did not.
That was
No, we didn't.
It was Glenn's fault. And he just like
was-
straight outs him.
Probably my fault. That's on me.
Oh, well, I mean, who knows? Maybe we can do like a fire roasted Daas Dog or some sort of special edition run. Who knows? I'm sure she's fine. If you didn't actually see her kick the bucket, I'm just gonna, kind of fingers crossed. I think she has a lot of hit points, so I don't think that she bit the big one. And hopefully she breathes pretty quickly. So just hopefully for all of our sakes, we can continue this little franchise.
Well, at least I got some real food in me for once. We've been on the road for so long, and he's just reaching into his cart and just taking another hot dog. Like, no bun, just like,
So gross.
Oh yeah, go right for it. You've earned it. Yeah, you just get your fill, big guy.
So, Das, we gotta talk about what a franchise means and what those cuts look like, because we're not here to provide you this resource and just let our fine refugee friends just squander to your prices. What do you have in mind?
Well, I actually didn't even know the word franchise until I assumed that you brought it over from like some other continent or something. I didn't actually know what that word was. I was just kind of wanted to sound like an informed businessman. So
Fake it till you make it. I get it. I totally just made it up. It's not actually like, it's not even a real word. It's Glenese.
Yeah. Franchise. No, yeah. Let's get this thing unloaded and put away, and we can talk about all kinds of these all of these business endeavors. I'll make sure that we come up with some way to all come out fat and happy from this this agreement.
I think we're gonna need to figure out a way to keep Cosmo from spilling the beans, because he did not seem very happy once he was eaten by it.
Yeah. So are you all okay with just unloading, going and unload this thing and moving on?
Are there any of like the franchisee refugees there, or
They are not currently there. They had some sort of agreement with Daas to come back at a later time once he was able to procure more product.
So gross.
But yeah, so you all are able to successfully get over to Daas's little like shack thing he has like towards the edge of town. Get this thing unloaded. It's on the lower levels. Get this thing unloaded in the back, and you can see that there's like a full butcher setup in there. The smell is far too familiar to the woods for you at this time, and you can see that there's like this the torches and everything that are burning in this place. Like you can tell that probably they're burning with that same kind of almost like a tallow, like an animal fat kind of thing, but it's their goo. That's what's powering his lantern. So it has that, like, this whole place just smells like cooked hot dogs. It's either wonderful.
Cosmo just hangs out outside.
Else.
Cosmo has I'll keep watch out back. You guys, you go ahead.
Glenn's gonna help him like clean and gut it, I guess, but Glenn's also going to try to collect like, hey, Daas, as a slight finder's fee, I'm gonna take some of this, and he's gonna like bottle like two bottles worth of like the goop, the kerosene-ish material.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. That's no problem at all. You help him clean, get this thing, and then you like bottle up these pieces, or this couple of these flasks of that ichor, I guess, from these creatures. And Daas assures you that he will come back to you with a business proposition for how to franchise this out.
Daas, you might want to look into maybe find another source too, because we barely got out of there alive. I don't know how often you're gonna be able to get people to go out there and source some of this for you.
Well, I mean, it's one of those kind of like scaling up things. Like, if you go after the mediums, it's like, this one's huge. I've never gone after one this big. This is like way big. But if you get like the ones that are a little smaller than this, but bigger than the little ones, they're pretty easy. You can take them down with like a couple hits and club them over the head, drag them away. It's fine. It's it's been fine. But yeah, no, you're right. You might be right. Maybe we need to get some sort of farming situation going on or something. But I don't know, man. You can't beat the taste of these things.
If Cosmo asks, this was the exact size you were looking for, and in no way did we derive from the original plan, because he's already pretty mad. He got eaten. I don't know if you heard that part, but it was pretty funny.
Oh my God, I wish I had been there to see that. That would have been hilarious. Yeah, no. Like I said, not vanilla, but they are tough customers. So it's one of those one of those things you got to come prepared. But hey, you're all here. You have all your fingers and toes and whatnot, and I'd say that's a victory. Ba-da-ba-da, ba-ba-ba-ba-da, you know what I'm saying?
Couldn't have put it better myself.
Awesome. What do you all want to do? We're getting towards the end here, and kind of what do you all want to do kind of with the rest of your day? It's probably getting like mid-evening at this point, or like early evening. Like sun's still up, sun's still up, but it's like early afternoon. Sorry, late afternoon.
Today's the same day that I gave Pops the rod, right? So there's no way. Okay, so he still needs time to do his thing. Glenn's gonna go back to Luther's Legends, and he's gonna hop up on the roof, and he is going to take the 10 minutes to summon Poe, and he's going to more or less alternate timings with Poe of keeping watch, seeing if Luther comes back. Just kind of like set up a little out of the way, try to be hidden, like kind of like on the backside of the roof, if you will, but like he's going to try to keep an eye out and see if Luther comes back tonight.
Awesome. So that's you're just going through the evening
that's
that
what he's
way.
going to do. Yeah.
Rangram, what are you doing?
Rangram is just going to, obviously it's the same day. Madge wouldn't have made any other progress, but I'd go over to the Iron Woman, to his cot that he had set up there by the forge, to get ready to take a snooze.
Awesome. When you get in there, you see that Madge is kind of snoozing in a chair, like leaning against the forge, and she has like tongs in her hand, and you can see that like mini keg that she took, that Cosmo had purchased, brought back to the forge with her. So she's in there with that. She was up pretty early in the morning, so she's kind of kipping out early. But you can see that there's this framework built with like these. It's basically like lifted up on these like little tiny pedestals, like to frame out this hand. But you can see that like the framework of a hand made out of that black metal has been forged. And you can see these little pieces and intricate like gears and smaller components, and this like plating has been like sitting there. And you can see other pieces that are kind of in the quencher. But she's made really good, fast work on this thing. And like the frame of this is done at this point. And she is now just like having to, so you can see like the form it's going to be taking, but she's now like, she has to actually like do the grunt work of filling it and like making this thing an actual moving hand. But part of it is done. Is there anything you're doing for bed, or are you just kipping out?
Rangram's looking at the framework that she has set, and he just looks over to a table that happens to have like a cleaver on it, and he stops and thinks to himself, he's like, it seems like a really good idea. And then he just takes the mini keg from Madge. If there's anything left, he's just drinking a bunch of it, and then goes right to his cot.
There's like a quarter of it left.
Yeah, he just looks at it and is like, I'm not too sure, and just starts chugging it, puts it back in her hands empty, chuckles a little bit, and goes back to his cot.
Awesome. Cosmo, what are you doing?
Straight to a bath or shower or whatever. Showers I don't feel like exist, but...
So I think that there's some sort of you probably have some sort of bath or like shower situation like on the outside kind of your house area, like an outdoor shower kind of, or bath situation, like in a enclosed room, but like disconnected from the house itself. So you're like able to fill yourself up, like probably have running water coming from a piped up area, and it's running water down onto you. We don't need to do Cosmo's shower scene, but unless there's is there anything else you want to do before going to sleep?
A lot of pressure for a Glenn or shower scene. I feel like it's only fair if we try to peer pressure him into.
It's fair.
It's
fair.
Yeah. What's he wear underneath his tunic?
He's a never nude. He's got jean shorts on underneath.
Jean shorts and blue paint.
That seems accurate. Some Daisy Dukes.
Yeah. Cosmo, what are you doing?
That's all I got, honestly.
Okay. And then heading off to bed?
Yeah.
Okay. You're able to, for the most part, you swear you can still smell it. It's just kind of in you at this point, and it's all over your armor. But I assume that you'll probably spend some time in the morning cleaning that off. But
my armor actually never gets dirty. I'm good.
Oh, good. Okay. That's pretty powerful armor. Yeah, so you're able to, like I said, you still swear you can smell that Daas Dog. Just like you're thinking it's in your beard, you don't know. It's ever present, omnipresence of this smell. But you are able to get yourself into bed and to sleep. Glenn, you're up on the roof, and you're taking turns watching with Poe, and it's one of your times where you're in your trance and Poe is watching, and you're kind of always aware during these times, but you're just kind of slightly less aware than normal. Eyes wide open, of course. I think we've justified this at some point, or already said that at some point.
The creepy sleep, the
creepy
really
sleep.
weird, yeah.
So you're basically Luther Legend Gargoyle tonight, and you start feeling from your pocket this burning. And it's like growing hotter and hotter. And in your like trance sleep, you're kind of like partially aware of it.
Yeah.
And then it gets to the point where it's burning so much that you can feel your the robes and the pocket around it start to split and burn, and then you feel it burn through your pocket and fall against your bare leg. What do you do, Glenn?
Whoa. With like mage hand, just like quickly, like hands up, and then mage hand just grab it and like hold it in this invisible hand, just like burning, glowing, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it is absolutely red hot. I assume that your mage hand can't take damage.
I don't think it can.
Okay. It's smoking. Like you can just see it in this partially transparent hand. This coin is red hot and glowing. This dark tungsten steel, just coin that's like larger than normal, probably like 2 inches in diameter, and is like scratched off as if it had had a face on one side and a coat of arms on the other that have been like purposefully and dutifully scraped off. What are you doing with this thing?
I mean, like recalling that previously I was talking to something on the other side of it. I was like, cool it, calm down, like hold on, and like I start to reach for it. Does it look like it's cooling down at all?
It does not. It's smoking and just kind of floating there in the mage hand. Are you going to touch it?
Just like, God, you really need to connect this, and I just grab for it. Like I pull it out of the mage hand, like hold on to it.
You grab it, and it is surprisingly like it's cool to the touch to you as soon as you grab it with your hand. And the second that you touch it, your like mind is way more powerfully than any other times when you've dealt with this coin or had any kind of mental connection with something on the other side. You feel your like whole spirit and body just be like pulled out, and you are standing in front of that. Like you feel yourself just zooming down this snow-covered valley, and like just zooming down, and then you like just kind of go and are looking up at this like temple that is covered in these runes, and like just everything's covered in snow and ice, and there's this like solid stone door, and you zoom up onto it, and you're just like standing directly in front of the door. Your body is not there, it's just like this spirit version of you, and directly in the center of the door you see this small circular mark that has this like labyrinthine pattern on it, and a very similar symbol above it, in what you recognize but can't read as draconic. That is a different symbol than the one that is on the platinum key, but very similar to it. And then in your head you hear the words,
"Hello, Glenyaris."
And that's where we're going to end the session tonight.
He knows my full name. Fuck. That's bad.
Let's get
Damn
a
it.
creepy voice in Glenn's head, see how he likes it.